Welcome to the Deep Dive. We've got a fascinating topic today, the first chapter of the DAMA Data Management Body of Knowledge. It's a deep dive right into the world of data management.
Oh, excellent choice. This chapter really sets the stage, and we'll be pulling out those core ideas, making sure you grasp what it truly means to see data as, well, a valuable asset.
You know, sometimes you hear data management and you think, okay, yeah, spreadsheets and databases, got it. But this goes way deeper. It's about like the power of data, the unseen power, how it shapes decisions in businesses, organizations, even just, our everyday lives.
What's so interesting here is how the chapter makes those connections right off the bat. Data, currency, oil, they're linked.
Like data is the new oil. I've heard that.
Yeah.
But what's the real meaning behind that?
It's not just a saying. It's about how vital data has become. This, like oil was the engine of the Industrial Revolution, data is driving the information age. Organizations are realizing this, right? Data gives you incredible insights, and those lead to innovation and advantages you wouldn't have otherwise.
Okay, so data is valuable, but it's not just about having tons of it, is it? It's about knowing what to do with it.
You hit the nail on the head. Having data and using it effectively, those are two different things. The DAMA DMBOK 2, it makes that clear. Very few organizations really know how to get value from their data, ongoing value. It takes planning, commitment.
It's strategic then, right?
Mhm.
It's not just collecting, it's a whole process.
Precisely. And a key part of that is this. Data isn't just raw facts and figures. It's about their representation, how we interpret them, and context. Context is everything.
So a date on a calendar, that's not enough. It's how it's used, what it's connected to.
Exactly. Think of customer or product, these bigger ideas. They seem simple, but defining them in data management terms, that's where things get fascinating.
Because customer could mean different things to different businesses.
Precisely. And how you define it, how you show it in your data, it has huge effects on how you manage that information. Everyone in the organization needs to be on the same page, same definitions, same interpretation.
It reminds me of those online forums, asking the same thing 5 different ways. Is that bad data management?
A perfect example. When data isn't managed well, you get those inconsistencies, errors, and it costs companies time and money. IBM, back in 2016, estimated that poor data quality cost the U.S. economy, get this, $3.1 trillion.
Wow. Okay, so we need a plan. What does the DAMA DMBOK2 recommend?
It outlines the data lifecycle, a framework for managing data from its creation to its disposal.
A roadmap for data, then.
You got it. It helps you see the different stages and those crucial processes. Creation, obtaining data, then storing it, maintaining it, using it, enhancing it, and then finally disposal when it's no longer needed.
And through all that, we're thinking about quality.
All the time. Quality management never stops. It's a loop. You monitor, you assess, you improve to ensure accuracy, completeness, consistency, and that the data is timely, so it's fit for its purpose.
So this means a whole team, different skills, all working on this.
That's a key insight. You need your technical folks, database administrators, programmers, architects, modelers, but then you need business knowledge too, the people who understand how data is used for decisions. It's a team effort.
And this is all happening under some strong leadership, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. The DAMA DMBOK2, it emphasizes vision, strategy. You need someone, often a chief data officer, to champion this, to drive change, and make sure data is a strategic asset. At every level.
So, okay, we've done some groundwork here. Data, it's valuable, needs careful management, quality, purpose. It's not just about collecting, it's about understanding, defining, and using it well.
We've only just started. There's so much more to explore. Data modeling, data integration, the specifics. We'll dive into all of that in the next part.
I'm already thinking about data differently. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll see how all of this works in the real world.
Welcome back to our deep dive.
So part 1, we really laid the groundwork, what data management is all about. But now I'm thinking, okay, how does this work in real life? Like theory is one thing, but how do these ideas actually get used?
That's a great question, and that's where things get exciting. Let's take something we all deal with every day. Customer data.
Okay, so every time I'm online, shopping, signing up for something, even browsing, that's customer data.
Exactly. And for businesses, that data is gold. It helps them figure out what customers like, how to target their marketing, how to make better products and services. But managing it right, that's tricky, especially now with all the privacy concerns. GDPR, it's a delicate balance.
So it's not just about getting as much data as possible, right? There's responsibility, respect for privacy.
Absolutely. Companies have to be open about what they collect, how they use it, how they protect it. Consent, security, giving people control over their information. And that's where data governance comes in.
You mentioned that in part one, data governance. What does that actually mean?
Think of it as like the rules of the road for data. It's a set of policies, procedures that guide how data is managed. It ensures compliance, protects sensitive stuff, helps maintain that data quality. It's about a framework for responsible data management.
So it's not just about the tech, it's the people, the processes, who's overseeing it all.
You got it. It's a team effort. IT, business users, legal, everyone's involved. Making sure things run smoothly, everyone's on the same page.
A well-oiled machine, kind of. What keeps it all running?
The fuel. That's a solid data strategy. It's the big picture, the organization's overall approach, goals, objectives, how they'll use data to get where they want to go.
Like a roadmap for data.
Precisely. But here's the thing. Data is always changing. How can you have a fixed strategy in such a dynamic world?
It's like trying to hit a moving target, right?
Perfect analogy. Data strategy has to be flexible, adaptable. Organizations need to be agile, embrace new technologies, and constantly look at their needs, their goals, and adjust.
Okay, so we've got people, processes, strategy. But what about the money side of things? We talked about costs of bad data, but what about the benefits when you get it right?
That's key. It's not just avoiding losses. It's about creating value. Good data management, it gives you insights. Those lead to better decisions, smoother operations, and more revenue. That's a competitive edge right there.
Can you give us some real-world examples how this plays out in different industries?
Sure, let's say retail. Imagine a company with a loyalty program. They analyze what people buy, see patterns, trends, then they personalize offers, recommendations, targeted marketing, happier customers, more profits.
So instead of those generic ads, you get messages that actually make sense for you.
Precisely. You understand your customers better, give them a better experience. This applies everywhere. Healthcare, for example. Data is huge in improving care, making things more efficient, driving research.
Now that you mention it, hospitals, clinics, they must generate mountains of data. Patient records, lab results, trials, all of it. How do they manage it all?
It's a big task. You need the right infrastructure, secure storage, easy retrieval, tools for analysis, and of course, privacy and security are paramount in healthcare.
This is about people's lives, not just numbers. Are there ways data is directly helping patient care?
Absolutely. Data analysis can spot things that doctors might miss, those hidden patterns. Earlier diagnoses, personalized treatments, even new drugs and therapies come from this. It also optimizes operations, streamlines things, making healthcare more efficient and effective.
The possibilities are amazing, but it's a huge responsibility to handle that data ethically, securely.
No doubt about it, but the potential benefits are enormous. It's using data to make a real difference, improving healthcare as a whole. And this leads to another big area, data in government, in public policy.
So data shaping how governments work, how they make decisions, how does that look?
Governments are using data more and more to improve services, tackle social issues, make smarter policy choices, crime prevention, traffic, resource allocation, all of this uses data.
So they're looking at crime stats, traffic patterns, all of it, to deploy resources better, respond faster.
Exactly. Data helps them see trends, predict needs, and make choices that benefit everyone. But we have to be careful. Using data in government, it raises ethical questions, especially about privacy, surveillance.
It's a balancing act then, right?
Right.
Wanting the benefits, but making sure it's done ethically, responsibly. What's important to think about here?
Transparency, accountability. People need to know how their data is being used and be able to hold those in power accountable. Clear rules, regulations to prevent misuse, protect privacy. It's an ongoing conversation.
So we see data management touching everything. Consumers, patients, citizens, it's everywhere.
That's the key takeaway. Data isn't just an idea. It's a force shaping our world. And as we move forward, understanding data management, that's essential.
This is really eye-opening. I'm seeing data everywhere now. It's like a whole new way of looking at things. Stay tuned for part 3. We'll dive deeper into the future of all of this, the trends, the challenges ahead. Back again for the deep dive. It's incredible how much we've covered already, like the basics of data management, how it affects businesses, healthcare, even governments.
It really shows you data's woven into everything these days.
No doubt. And it's only going to get bigger, right,
Yeah.
as we move deeper into this information age. So for this last part of our deep dive, I'm curious, what's next for data management? What's coming down the line? What challenges are we facing?
One of the biggest trends, and probably the biggest challenge too, is just the sheer amount of data being created. It's exploding.
Yeah, you can feel it, right? Like we're generating more data now than ever.
It's not just a feeling, it's true. The volume's growing exponentially. Internet of Things, AI, social media, it's all adding to it.
So we're not just managing data anymore. It's like managing these massive, almost unimaginable amounts of data.
Exactly. And that means new challenges, needing smarter tools, better strategies, cloud computing, big data analytics. That's where those come in. You need the power, the scalability to handle it all.
So the tech's catching up, evolving. But what about us, the human side of data management?
That's critical. We need people who can understand all this data, find the meaning in it, turn it into something we can use. That's why data scientists, engineers, analysts, all those roles, they're in such high demand.
So if you're looking for a career with a future, data management's a good bet.
Absolutely. Huge potential. Every industry needs these skills, and that need's only going to grow. Data is at the heart of how we live, how we work, how we decide things.
Okay, data explosion, need for skilled people, got it.
Oh, I see.
What else? What other challenges are out there for data management looking ahead?
Data integration. That's getting trickier all the time. Think about it. Organizations are getting data from everywhere. Their own systems, partners, social media, sensors. It's a mess. And you got to bring it all together, make sure it's consistent, accurate. That's a huge job.
Yeah. It's like a giant puzzle. Right. But the pieces keep changing shape.
Exactly. Data integration takes serious planning, standardization, and the right tools to get that unified view of everything.
And of course, we can't forget security. Still a big concern.
Huge. The more we rely on data, the bigger the target we become. Data breaches, cyber attacks, the risks are going up all the time. And the stakes are higher too. We're trusting these systems with more and more sensitive information.
It's like this back and forth battle, the protectors and the attackers.
It does feel that way sometimes. You got to be proactive, invest in security, train your people, and always be adapting, staying ahead of the threats.
So data governance, that's even more important now, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely essential. It's that framework, that foundation for responsible, ethical use of data. Compliance, protecting information, quality, it all builds trust, confidence in how data is being used.
Like the guardrails on a highway, keeping us safe, making sure we reach our destination.
Exactly. It helps organizations navigate this complex world of data and actually use it to its full potential.
We've talked about the challenges, but what about the good stuff? What excites you about the future of data management?
The possibilities. Data has the potential to unlock amazing things, new insights, innovations across every field. As data becomes easier to access, easier to analyze, we're going to see breakthroughs. Healthcare, business, science, things we haven't even thought of yet.
Can you give us some examples? What might this look like?
Okay, healthcare. Imagine medicine personalized to you, based on your genes, your lifestyle. Predictive analytics, spotting health risks early, preventing problems. Data is going to be huge in drug discovery, too, new treatments, faster development for all kinds of diseases.
It's like a glimpse into the future of our own health, isn't it?
In a way, yeah. We're understanding our bodies and minds in a whole new way, leading to better, more personalized healthcare.
And what about business? How does data change things there?
We'll see more decisions based on data, not just gut feelings. More efficient businesses, smarter marketing, completely new products and services tailored to exactly what people want.
So companies will know what we want before we even do.
It's getting closer. Analyzing all that data, you find patterns, trends, things you'd never see otherwise. That lets you tailor your offerings, personalize things, make the whole experience better for your customers.
And it's not just business, healthcare, right?
Yeah.
Government, public policy. How does data affect those?
It can completely change how governments work. More efficient, more responsive, more accountable. Decisions based on evidence, on real-world data, not just politics. That means better solutions to social problems, smarter use of resources, a fairer society for everyone.
Data really does have the power to make things better, doesn't it? Healthier, more fulfilling lives.
It does. But we have to remember, data is a tool. It can be used in good ways or bad ways. That's why responsible, ethical data management is so important.
So as we head into this data-driven future, what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
This. Data is powerful, but it's on us to use it the right way. Understand its potential, but also its limits. Think about the ethics always. Demand transparency, accountability from those who collect our data, use our data, and fight for policies, for practices that protect our privacy, make sure data is used for good, not for harm.
That's a great message to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into data management. It's been eye-opening. Really makes you think about the power of data, all the possibilities.
It's been my pleasure. Remember, the world of data is always changing, so stay curious, keep learning, keep exploring what's out there.